The NFL draft, it's over. Everyone got picked. They're on their respective teams. Now let's speculate. Let's project how these guys are going to do. These are my top 10 candidates for Defensive Player of the Year. And I'm gonna give you some other guys at the end of the video, so stick with me. But what's crack-a-lackin'? It's your boy Broshmo, just in case you did not know. So go ahead, become a bro and subscribe. Leave this video a thumbs up if you enjoy the content. And as always, let me know what you think in the comment section below. I love having that nice, beautiful football discourse with you. Let's go ahead, get into it, and do the nitty gritty. We're starting with Quay Walker. He just sneaks into the list here. Quay Walker, I just think he's going to get a lot of opportunity. And when it comes down to making this list, for me, it comes down to, okay, who's going to stuff the stat sheet, which typically linebacker is a good bet, and who's going to be presented and given that opportunity. And Quay Walker, just at the end of the day, he's going to have he's got an easy way. Really, the only guy ahead of him on the depth chart is Devondre Campbell. So start next to him, Quay Walker, when they go into those two linebacker sets, which, to be fair, most of the NFL loves playing a nickel, and sometimes Packers, they like bringing an extra safety rather than having a second linebacker on the field. But I think with Quay Walker, they might be more than willing to have that. I think he's going to clear 500 snaps this season pretty easy, and I think he's going to be a cat that does stack that stat sheet. Again, he's going to have a lot of tackles. It's going to be interesting to see how the Packers use him. He has no one to worry about behind him. The other guys behind him are like Chris Barnes and Isaiah McDuffie, so really no worries. He's, in my opinion, that he has no competition. He should be starting next to Campbell. And this is the thing. I think Walker, he's going to be a better NFL player than he was college player. And that's not to say he was a bad college player. He had one really good year with the Bulldogs. It was just, that's when he saw all his starting time last season. Because guess what? The Georgia Bulldogs, they recruit really well. So he had to wait his time. And when his time came, he showed out. He's a great athlete. And yeah, no, I'm very eager to see how the Packers utilize him. That's why he comes in here at number 10. At number 9, Jermaine Johnson. Oh man, there were a couple of defensive edge prospects, I should say, that I should have made this list, and Johnson, I just kind of penciled him in ahead of one other guy I'll get to at the end of the video. And it's solely because of the state of the Jets defensive line, excuse me. So Carl Lawson coming off injury, we know often injured. When it comes to the other guy playing the other edge role, John Franklin Myers, that cat's so versatile, they kick him inside a lot of times. Outside of that, the competition behind Johnson, it's not great. Like Bryce Huff, dude's fine, but he is a designated pass rush only specialist. He's coming in on like third downs. He's not going to see the field a lot, or at least considered to what Johnson could do. He could be on the field for, well, first, second, and third down. And then Michael Clemens is probably the only other cat that's probably going to come close to him in terms of competition. Maybe Solomon Thomas on early downs. But yeah, no, I think Jermaine Johnson's going to be fine. And when it comes to edge, like stacks, you're looking at sacks. And I think, his playing style allows him to stack up that stat sheet. That is a freaking tongue twister. Stack that sack stat sheet. There we go. Wow. See, I told you it's a tongue twister. But he fell, right? He fell in the draft. I think a big reason of that, again, this is my opinion, so take it with a grain of salt. I think it was when it came to analytically where Jermaine Johnson won. When did he get pressure? When did he get sacks? And typically a large percentage of those pressures, those sacks came about 3 seconds after the snap, which means, this is a phrase I use a lot on the channel, he was one of those late to the party, life of the party type of pass rushers, like a Dante Fowler type. Does that mean that's going to be him in the NFL? Absolutely not. This dude's got a great ceiling, I think. A lot better than a lot of people at least anticipated going into the combine. But that kind of was him in college. Like, opposed to someone who, spoiler alert, we're going to talk about him at the end of the video, Arnold Ebiketie, who a large percent of his pressures and sacks came within the first 2 seconds of a snap. Which means this dude was creating a lot of havoc, a lot of pressure early. So, yeah, I mean, I think Johnson, if I'm going to bet on a guy that's like, you know what, I think at least in sacks, this dude's going to be way up there, it's probably Johnson. On to number 8, I got Derek Stingley. Probably should have put him at number 7, considering he was number 7 there. The legendary number 7 role there at LSU. I say role, number, legendary number. But Derek Stingley, I think, is going to be afforded a lot of opportunity when it comes to this defense. While they drafted well, let's not kid ourselves, this team isn't a contender yet. I think that this team's going to give up points, and Derek Stingley is going to get thrown out a ton. We know what type of ball hawk he can be. The question is, will he be the Derek Stingley we saw the last 2 seasons, or the one we saw his freshman season? The other question, health. They say, hey, availability. It's the best thing you could bring coming into the NFL. And with the Liz Frank surgery or Liz Frank injury, it's like, okay, like, will Derek Stingley play a full slate of NFL games? I think that's a fair question. That's why I kind of have him so far down my list. Probably should have put him at 7 just because he's number 7, but he's here at number 8. At number 7 is Travon Walker out of Georgia, now with the Jacksonville Jaguars. I don't know why I say out of Georgia. Y'all already know. But when it comes to his role in the Jags, I think he has such a versatile role. He's going to be an Iron Man for this Jags defense. It won't surprise me if he is one of the leaders of this rookie class in snaps, just because he's coming from Georgia. He's a very good run stuffer, and while he might not be completely polished as a pass rusher, just with that upside, I think he's going to be like a 3-down player in the NFL. So there's that. I just think he's going to be on the field a lot, and that's why particularly I have him here. Is I just think he's going to be on the field a lot, so he's going to be afforded a lot of opportunity. And with that Jacksonville team, man, like, he's a dude that could kick inside given his body type, and someone that'll probably be playing a lot on the outside, because we know, Kayvon Chaisson has yet to emerge, and I don't think he will. So we'll see. I mean, he may be unpolished as a pass rusher, but his combination of explosiveness and length typically wins anyway at the NFL. He may have this high ceiling, but you gotta keep in mind the floor is still really high. I think we're gonna see a lot of at least run stuffs from Walker. And then going to my next player, NAKOBE Dean. He is the only player on this list that is not a first rounder. And if healthy, which sounds like he will be, I think NAKOBE Dean has a great opportunity to load up that stat sheet, because just go back to Georgia. Just look at Georgia, and there was so much talent on that defensive line. Of course, these linebackers were afforded all this opportunity. Well, he's going into a situation where the Eagles have, look at all that talent on that defensive line. Of course, he was afforded opportunity, and I think he is going to be afforded opportunity. Question is, will he be on the field? A lot. That was probably one of the big things that knocked him down boards. Outside of size and length, I don't think that was too big of an issue. At least it wasn't for me. It was probably going to be injury. And I think this cat's going to come in. He's going to be healthy. He's going to play. He's going to play a hell lot of football. That defensive line, however I hope they use him a lot as a blitzer too, because he was very good in that regard. So yeah, I think he is someone that could sneakily maybe get 5 or 6 sacks on the season, and then probably be in that 130, 140 tackles range. So be on the look for NAKOBE Dean. Like I said, linebackers also typically a very popular position when it comes to defensive rookie of the year. Sacks, tackles. Those are typically the stats teams look for. Then next, I have Ahmad, Sauce, Gardner. The Jets, they got lost in the sauce, and here they are. And good for them, honestly. Like, Sauce is a great prospect. He's gonna have a great opportunity there. Like, straight up, he is gonna be the cornerback 1 or 2. Like, between him and DJ Reed, those are your 2 starters. How Bryce Hall falls into that, I don't think they're gonna use Bryce Hall like in the slot or anything. They could, but I think really he's gonna come in as a guy that just could give those guys a break. You're better players, and they have a lot of good sub package guys too. So that's how I think that's going to probably fall. It's just like I've seen Sauce be as high as like 3 and 4 on some of these odds. And it's just, when it comes to defensive rookie of the year, corner, it's going to be a much harder. Because as Trevon Diggs put it on Twitter, sacks, matter of fact, I'll say this too, tackles are a lot easier to come by than interceptions. And if you're going to win defensive rookie of the year, you kind of need interceptions. So Sauce, I think he's going to have a great year. He's going to be pretty shut down. It's just without a lot of interceptions, I just don't think he's going to be in contention. But hopefully that changes. We'll see. And next on the list, I think this is number 5. No, it's number 4. I got Devin LLOYD, the Jacksonville Jaguars' own Devin LLOYD. And I was saying it with when it came to stats, I think this dude's gonna pad up the tackles with QUAY right there next to him. Chad Muma is sitting there right behind him, but I don't think Devin LLOYD's their first rounder. He's gonna be the guy that's gonna be there with Oluokun. And Devin LLOYD, he's a good run stuffer. He's got a pass rush upside as a blitzer. Not even just as a blitzer. He's a guy you can be like, yo, straight up, put your hand in the dirt and go. He can do that. And with that length, I think you're going to see a lot. We're going to see some plays in coverage too. So I think out of all the linebackers in this draft class, he's probably one that might make the most splash plays, even though those plays didn't really show up on tape at Utah until this season. So if anything, I still think he's going to be like a 140 tackle guy at the end of the year. So that's why he is so far up here on my list. And then number 3, Kyle Hamilton. I think the Ravens are going to use this cat a lot. Like, he's going to have a very versatile role there for the Ravens. They love using 3 safety sets. Sean Elliott, he's out. Kyle Hamilton, you're in. They got Marcus Williams, there to be kind of that deep Roman safety. So I think we're going to see some stops. I think they could use him as a blitzer. I don't think that's really going to be a big part of his role, but just I really think Kyle Hamilton is going to come in. Oh, okay, you're going to be our dime linebacker. Like, they're going to use this cat a lot in the box. I think he has a chance to make some plays in coverage. That's why I got him so far up the list. And let's be honest, when it comes to the top 2, everybody probably has the same top 2. I think they're the top 2 when it comes to the betting odds. So my number 2 is AIDAN Hutchinson, the Detroit Lions edge. And quite frankly, between him and number 1, it's close. It's just I went with the guy that I think is going to get the more sacks. I think AIDAN Hutchinson's going to be a cat that can create a lot of havoc, but he's going to be probably a big run defender first and foremost. And I just don't think he has that pass rush upside compared to my number 1. And we kind of talked about this in the draft process, that AIDAN Hutchinson's game, it just translates to success. He might not have the high upside or the bendiness on the outside compared to guys like Travon Walker or even like KT, those guys. But he's going to be a great player. Will he be a 10 to 15 sack guy? I think I question that a bit more than I do with my number 1, who is in fact KAYVON THIBODEAUX I think this guy's just going to wreak havoc. He's got Azeez Ojulari on the other side of him, who has phenomenal get off. Just had, I think, like a 9-sack season his past year. Actually, did he? What specifically? I think it was like 9. Did he get into the double digits? I'm going to answer this question right now. This question that I have now posed to myself. Yeah, he got 10. My boy, Azeez Ojulari. KT, man, super bendy, great get off. I think he is going to be a big reason. Like, this defense is going to be pretty good, I think, for the Giants. It's going to be the offense. Let's be honest. The offense is going to let that team down, and it's going to let them down a lot. But KT, I think, for me, is the odds-on favorite. He's probably going to be the odds-on favorite for a lot of places. And you know what? I think that's a safe bet. I really, really do. BT dubs. I got this right last year. I said Micah Parsons. I'm just saying. Let's see if we could get 2 in a row. Let's see if we can do it. I do want to talk about a guy I think should have made this list, but after I did all the overlays, like all this like graphics you see on the video right now, I was like, man, Arnold Ebiketie should have been on this list. Like, that dude's gonna have all the opportunity in the world. And he like, looking back, I was like, man, like, literally as like I was gonna hit record, I was like, why did I not put him on this list? He honestly probably would have been in my, maybe been in my top 5 or 6. So I just want to make that known, because if he goes on to win Defensive Rookie of the Year and you'd be like, oh, he wasn't even on your list, I just want to make it known he probably would have been if I didn't do the graphics already. So is what it is. But you let me know what you think in the comment section below. That's it for the video. Go ahead, do the YouTube thing. And as always, until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.